to say this, but y'all, I am trying to make meals simple for me so that I don't get overwhelmed and then just go out to eat. So it has to be simple, it has to be affordable, but it also has to be good. For me, I absolutely love how this meal like warmed up my body, okay? Because that day I was pretty over it. So I needed something like warm, but also filling, and also kind of giving me like restaurant vibes because I don't really have dumplings at home normally, or these are called mamas or something like that. But I just want you to know that you can make simple dishes like this. You don't have to break the bank, and it doesn't have to be 1,000 steps cooking in the kitchen, and you will be just as satisfied. This was so good, trust me.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jules. If you're new here, I am a business coach for beauty and wellness service providers, and I am a mommy. So my channel is all about just my life as a solopreneur, how I get through it, and how I still focus on my own self-care. Today, I actually want to talk about like all the things that I do and consider going into a new month. October just started. It's only October 4th, so this is the perfect time for me to share with y'all all the things that I consider and plan out. So we're gonna get into that, but first I am going to go to Home Goods because I really want to redo my bathroom, actually both of my bathrooms, and online shopping for stuff like that makes me overwhelmed. So we're gonna go to Home Goods and we are going to see what they have. And I'm not buying anything today. I really just want to get my mind together in terms of design. And then we're gonna come back home and then we'll figure out what else is gonna happen. All right. Yeah, I'm figuring out how y'all be recording in your car, in your bathroom, in the kitchen, in the living room, in the hallway, in your bedroom. I'm figuring out the angles, y'all. So bear with me. Okay. Hopefully that's good. I have my headset in because I feel like in the car it is kind of loud. Also, also, I went to Glossier and I knew I didn't want this one. Also, my finger, look at my nails, y'all. This one done. This one is done. And I'm not trying to flick y'all off, but this one is done. So now I'm going to cut them all off. But shout out to my mama because my nails grow back very fast and they are pretty thick. Like they're usually hard to break, but I realize when it gets colder outside, they can dry out faster, so then they break. So anyway, went to Glossier. I knew I did not want this one for my lips, right? Because this one, it says you can use on your lips, on your cuticles, on your elbows, on your friend, anywhere that needs some love. But I just realized that like I don't really like this one on my lips. There was another one that I believe was like a light pink, and I got them at the same time for free at this event, this brunch event, sound bowl and brunch event in Atlanta. And they gave us like free Glossier bags, and they gave us two, and they were totally different. And on the back, one of them didn't have this little paragraph up here. All it said was use on your lips. So I'm thinking that if I go there and I look for another one that's similar to this top color but doesn't have the back wording up here, I'll find it. So I'm going through all of them, and I'm looking on the back and seeing which one just says for the lips, and it's a few of them, but the color of the actual gel is different. So I'm like, oh no, the one that I had, there was no color. It just came out clear, but the other ones were like purple, pink, all types of colors, child. So I was like, no, this is not what I want. So I end up just finding a clear one. So I end up getting this one, and I bought it because I was like, okay, I just want clear. Also, I love the business model of Glossier, like how you have to order it and then they call you and it's all ready and prepared. I love that. And I love the fact that they don't have their inventory out and it's just like a testing physical spot. But Tamara, I got this one, and then I started putting it on at the house, and I was like, this junk has glitter in it. Do I look like someone who likes glitter? I do not. y'all see how minimalistic I am, how like my color palette, um, and the things that I wear, child. I was like, not glitter. Hold on, I gotta check the mail. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to my daughter, and I'm gonna just have to go back and actually find the same exact thing that I have. Because she was asking me, when did I get that, y'all? I got that over a year ago. And I was surprised because the first one that I had lasted like 6 months plus. And so this one lasted the other 6 months plus, maybe like 8 months. And now I'm coming to the end of that old one. Um, but I was like, no, I definitely need this because for what, $14, $15 for something to last 6 months? Like usually I get the EOS eggs for my lip, to moisturize my lips, but EOS has changed their formulations and I don't really like. They changed their formulations and they changed like what scents are out now, and I don't really like the ones that are out. So yeah, when I got Glossier, I was like, oh, cool, perfect. Um, Not this lady holding up traffic to talk to her child. Pull over. I was like, perfect. This is going to be my new gloss. So, yeah, the lady was like, maybe it was on like a special or maybe like something like that. Maybe it was like a seasonal theme type of thing. And I think that's what it was because I was telling her like the other one had the same exact color or like a very, very similar rosy color. All right, so we're going to Home Goods. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just going to look around. Uh, oh, nothing about to get in a car accident. I need y'all to remind me to get water. I know that you actually can't, but me just saying it out loud will help a lot. But I need to get water. Um, and I don't. Oh, I was supposed to check my bank. Yeah, I'm waiting for something to come in the mail, but tomorrow should be like the last day I should be waiting for it. That's why I had to stop in the mailbox. But yeah, so catch up. Um, Last weekend I was celebrating my workbook launch because I got how many? I think at this point I got 8 workbooks sold, and I am happy with that because I like to have. Hold on, I couldn't concentrate because they were going really, really slow. Okay, reel it back in. I sold 8 workbooks, and I am still trying to sell these last 2 with the 10% off, and then after that, it's going to go to the regular price. But I was happy because what I said was I want to sell 10 copies of my workbook within the first week of it being out, and it's been out for 10 days now. So I'm excited about that. And I really started to change my mindset around like launch periods because when you are launching something, I think our mind is we're going to go full force on promotion. We're going to get a lot of sales. We're going to reach some goals. We're going to make a lot of money within the first week. Now, because everything I create is for long term, like this workbook, I don't see myself not offering it for a while, like a year or so. I don't need my week launch to be this extravagant thing. I really just want to be able to sustain my marketing, sustain my promotion and promotional efforts. And I want my goal in terms of how many people purchase to be something a little bit more obtainable and then working upwards from that. In the past, I used to be like, I want like $3,000 launches, $4,000 launches, whatever. I learned that from a lot of coaches that did not know what the hell they were talking about or doing because there was no strategy around that. They were just kind of telling you to have a number goal. And I no longer go by that anymore. Now it's more so I really want to impact 10 people with this workbook within the first week of launching. And I think I even want to change my approach to my goals in terms of launching to 2 weeks. Because the first week you are more so just putting eyes on the product, and the second week people are starting to get a little bit more comfortable with the name of the product, be more aware of it, they know more about it, they're more enticed to purchase it when you start posting social proof, which is like people's reviews on the product and their testimonials and things like that. So I'm even thinking like now my launch goal, and I don't even know what I'm gonna be launching. It's probably going to be 2 weeks worth of analytics to see like how many people open their emails, how many people actually engaged with this post, how many people clicked the link, all of those types of things. So that's that. Also, I am done bringing on new VIP clients for the year. So 2023 is done. So, okay. And I was excited because I posted about this yesterday on Instagram. I need to start posting more on TikTok. But I posted about this on Instagram that this year I was able to service 25 beauty professionals and wellness professionals. And when you think about it, I work with my clients for 3 months or more. So 3 months is the typical standard, right? And I had 25 clients this year. So that means on any given month, I was taking about 6 clients or more. And that sounds about right. So that's pretty dope because if you think about it, like the way that my work goes, I have coaching calls Monday through Wednesday. I usually have 2 calls a day. So from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., I'm on coaching calls with my clients. And then after that, I'm working on other things just to maintain my own business, or I'm doing like a little bit of digging or for my clients or looking at their homework and auditing it. So to do that for 6 people, yeah, it's a lot. I think next year I'm going to have 3 to 4 clients a month and just focus on workbook sales and like my one-off spot treatment coaching calls for anybody to be able to purchase. So yeah, this year is coming to a close work-wise for me, and I'm excited about that because it's about to start slowing down. I can already see the end of my October. I only have like 3 calls a week, and whereas now I have like 6 calls a week, so I'm excited about that. So yeah, I celebrated the workbook sales. Yesterday I was celebrating the fact that I was able to service and impact 25 beauty and wellness professionals for 2023. And what else? Oh, and then last weekend I also celebrated with my little boo thing. We've been dating for a year. So we had celebrated basically all weekend. So like Friday, Saturday, kind of Sunday. And we usually acknowledge every month. So we, and it was just really my idea, and he just kind of went with it and then actually took it over after that. But my idea was just to acknowledge the fact that another month has gone by, that we're growing, we're learning, we're happy. We've been celebrating every single month. And so the year was like a major milestone. And the thing is, I look at dating so much different now because I don't consider us in a relationship. I consider us literally dating. And I remember like, because I've said this in one of my vlogs, but I was dating my daughter's dad for 4 years, from 20 to, I guess, what? Well, was that 20? I was 21. No, I was 20. 20, 21, 22, 23. So by 20 to 23 years old, I was dating my daughter's dad. And then I was single for about a year or maybe a year and some change. And then I dated my ex for 6 years. So let's see, 24, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yes, that makes sense because I've been single for basically 2 years now. So yeah, the math, okay. But before, I needed to mature a lot relationship wise, but it all came in due time. I'm not saying that my journey with dating and like finding a person, like I resist any of it, or that any of it is like, what am I trying to say? I don't regret my journey, basically. But I just remember like back in my 20s, like if you liked me and I liked you, we are in a relationship, okay? Like I'm not telling you this, but you're gonna ask me to be your girlfriend and we're gonna be together. Now I just don't think that step is necessary. Hear me out. I used to believe in living with your boyfriend and girlfriend. I used to believe in boyfriend and girlfriends. I used to believe in like just dating for like maybe the first month or two, maybe even three, but then after that you need to decide like if we're going to be together or not. I used to believe in all of that. Now, y'all, my mind has totally shifted. Now I'm starting to see more in terms of like the traditional way of courting until marriage. I'm seeing why that is important and why like the whole boyfriend and girlfriend thing really wasn't a thing before, because it's like a fake commitment. It's like a fake, it's like the prerequisite to marriage. So I've just decided like this year, I don't want to be in a relationship. I really just want to date. And I want to, continue to learn myself, continue to grow as an individual. And as long as my partner, because I still deem him as my partner, we don't have any commitments to each other. So as long as me and my partner, our lives are kind of growing in the same direction, cool. And if not, then I can go date someone else. He can go date someone else or whatever. So yeah, my views have totally changed. So it's interesting explaining to like my sister or like my friends what celebrating a year even means. And again, it really just means acknowledgement. It really just means we are acknowledging that we've been growing together, that we've been rocking with each other, and not just in terms of it being a year, but in terms of true growth and happiness and the fact that we have maintained a healthy relationship in relating with each other, respectful, considerate, loving, caring, all of those things. And still, we live our individual lives. And so far, for this whole year, our individual lives have been on the same path. So, who knows what the next year brings, we're both open to it. I love him to death. We both definitely say I love each other and we feel it and we're in love with each other and things like that. It's just the whole like, I just feel like being in a relationship also kind of dilutes marriage a little bit. Like I used to hate when people say, "Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?" Like all those types of things. I'd be like, "He's gonna marry me, y'all." No, they don't. No, let me stop. I'm not gonna say that for everybody. There is no rush, focus, seriousness, or real plan towards marriage, fusing your lives together and becoming a true partnership, like under God and recognized by law, when you're just boyfriend and girlfriend. So me and him we've had so many conversations about this. And I was just telling him, like, I don't want to dilute marriage anymore. I don't want to live with my partner before marriage ever again. And not that I had a horrible experience, because I didn't have a horrible experience living with men, but I just I want to do it different. And I don't know if y'all feel me. I don't know if you're there in your life or if you're like, I do want to do something different and you've never tried this. But let me tell you that when you take all expectations off of the table, and expectations meaning when you say you're boyfriend and girlfriend, now you guys are like slick committing to something, but all expectations off of the table until that person truly wants to be your husband or wife. It is it's an interesting experience. It's just an interesting experience. That's all I can say. And I know that I want a different experience. So say all that to say, if y'all have questions, let me know in the comments. Say all that to say, we have agreed, and it was my idea. We have agreed that it's just going to be us dating, us continuing to experience each other, because I'm really big on experience. Why am I at Target? I'm supposed to be at Home Goods. Y'all, I'm absolutely done. I'm going to stay here, though, because Marshall's is right there. My brain said Target. So, anyways, we have we've agreed that until we are ready for marriage, until he's ready to ask me to be my fiance, we are going to continue to have our own journeys. And I do believe that when people get into like relationships and they start fusing their lives together prematurely or without an actual life plan together, like a goal to work towards, it does start to steer your own passions, your own desires, like however your life would have been had you continue on the individual journey that you needed to be on for whatever growth reasons, or what for whatever purpose, it kind of like deters you from that, and it just makes you a part of someone else's life. And I know for women, because if you go through the whole, like, I'm following a man and the man is leading me, when you accept a man to lead you and you have yet to become an individual, you've yet to actually know who you are, what you want, what your passions are, things like that, your life literally just ends up being his life. And I actually do believe in following and leading. And two things can be true. I believe that you still have to be an individual. Like, I'm committed and I'm considerate towards my partner, but I'm very much my own person, and I'm very much having my own goals and my own aspirations. And she is gorgeous. Okay, focus. My own beliefs and things like that, and not beliefs, well, yeah, beliefs, but that's not what I was trying to say. My own aspirations and my own goals, and things that I just love to do, my own friends, like I have all of that before now. And before, I just feel like it was only my job, like it was only work. And then before that, it really wasn't anything. I wasn't really truly passionate about anything. So me just morphing my life with a man's life was something that I just did because it was easy. And then coming out of that situation, it was always like, not easy, but comfortable. And then coming out of that situation, it was always like, wow, my life could have looked like this. No regrets, but my life could have looked like this if I continued on my individual journey until whatever that means for you, until you got the career, until you started working in your passion, until you really got your health and fitness the way that you liked it. It's just so easy to like just lose your individuality when you're following someone because you did not take the time to have your own individual life first. So yeah, that's why I say that I'm single, because I am technically single. And I remember one time, like, I was at a wedding and I was with my boyfriend at the time because he was a photographer. And the Single Lady song came on from Beyonce. And the lady next to me, when they were like, "Oh, I'm a single lady, now put your hands up," she was like, "Put your hands up, you're not married." And I was like, "Girl, my man is right there." Like, And I'm just thinking, like, it's not a slap to your partner's face. It truly is like, but we are single. We are individuals until we become one. Like, that's just it. It's literally as simple as that. And it's taken me until 33 to really understand that concept, because it is a concept. It's an idea. It can be abstract to people who don't understand it yet. And it can be totally frowned upon for people who have already chosen a different path, which used to be me. In your 30s, you really just start thinking about how you just thought you knew everything there was to know in your 20s. You really did. And then you're like, have I been doing it wrong? And what's also interesting is, like, me not being in relationships anymore and just dating has prompted the last two guys that I've dated to like talk about marriage before I did. I find that interesting. It's almost like they know that they can't have all of me until we're married. And that's a part of the concept because you can't have all of me until we're married. And if we're dating and then we become boyfriend and girlfriend, or girlfriend and girlfriend, or guy friend and guy friend, whatever how you say it, you feel like you have all of me. So then there is no rush. So yeah, that's basically it. Let me go see what Marshall's has going on. And I know Target does not have what I need because my shower is tall. And so most shower curtains are like 72 to 74. I need a 72 to an 84. So we'll go see. That's my rant, y'all. Okay, so I got some things, but I really should not have because I don't need them. But I just got a few things from Marshall's. Now I need to go find where Home Goods is. But I just wanted to say, I keep on getting cashiers that sound like the Slug, I think she is, from Monsters, Inc. Y'all know who I'm talking about? I think they're like, I think she's like their boss or something like that. She has on glasses and she moves really, really slowly. Whatever her name is. My cashiers, when I go out, sounds just like that thing, lady, whatever. Yet another store that I needed to come to, well, felt like I needed to come to, and they don't have what I need. So, came here just for water. There is no spring water left. Um, and now I just have a basket of things that I did not come here for that I also am already emotionally connected to. I'm attached. So now I have to buy it. You know what I forgot? I forgot to tell y'all that I started wearing mouth tape because at night I I know for a fact I sleep with my mouth open. And so in the morning, my mouth is dry and all these things. But also, I asked my breathwork coach, like, does she think that sleeping with your mouth open has anything to do with your like structure right here? Like, I remember, and I know that age comes with that, but I remember late in my 20s, I actually had like a jaw. You can't see it anymore. It's I call this a gulp. I got a gulp. But in my late 20s, I had a jaw and I'm pretty slim everywhere else. I'm like, why do I still have this? So anyways, she showed me a it was an article that also came with a photo. I'm gonna put it up, but she showed me a photo of people that sleep with an example of people that sleep with their mouth open and what that does to honestly your whole facial structure, but definitely your jaw. So I went and got some mouth tape that she told me to get, and I got the drift one. So I got drift, and also, like I've been telling you guys, my upstairs neighbor is not quiet, and sometimes it takes me a while to go to sleep, and sometimes it takes me out of my sleep in the morning. So drift also has, where is it? They also have these, and these go into your ears. I've actually used something like this before, and I used these last night, and I can hear still because I was kind of afraid of like not being able to hear if someone broke in or something happened in the middle of the night. I can still hear, but it's just kind of muffled. So although I could hear my upstairs neighbor last night, it didn't wake me up or keep me up. So it basically worked. So that was one of the things that I said I definitely wanted to do last month, and they just came in this month. So that was one of my personal goals for myself. Get the mouth tape so that you can stop sleeping with your mouth open, and get some earplugs. Lastly, I know that I have braces, and it's aligning my jaw, but it's not doing like this super deep work of aligning my jaw. So with this mouth tape, it also, last night I noticed, it kept like my jaw forward and up, which is exactly what my doctor, orthodontist, told me that we need to be focusing on anyways. So all in all, win-win. I definitely would recommend Drift, and this is not sponsored. Okay, so I wanted to do a little sit down and talk about how I like to go into a new month. I know that people are really big on like Sunday resets and weekly resets, but for me, those types of resets for me are more geared towards getting ready for my work week. But my monthly resets are more like me evaluating my personal life and how I want to dish out my energy for the month. So one of the first things that I do is I only create 3 goals. 3 goals for a new month. That's it. One is usually a financial goal, one is usually a personal goal, and then the other one is either a goal that I have for me and my daughter specifically, or that one's just random. So like this month, I really do want to focus on taking my dark showers again, because last month, as you saw in my other vlogs, I had just moved here. So I was not necessarily in relaxed mode just yet because I just moved here, and then I launched a workbook, which took me forever and a day to rewrite, and you'll see that if you see my other vlogs. But my mind was still in go mode, very much still in my masculine energy, which I am working on, trying to bring it back to the feminine, okay? Flowing,
more soft, more receiving, things like that. So, um, first things first, I want to get back to take my dark shower. So what that means is I'm not necessarily in the dark, okay? I just don't use the actual bathroom light. Instead, I use candles, or I use like a very, very dim like night light that's plugged into my wall. And what that does is it really relaxes like my nervous system. Just being in the dark, being in very, very dim lighting helps me calm down and relax. And of course, I like taking my hot showers. It has to be hot. But the trick is like doing that when you are going to continue being relaxed. So for me, I'll do it at night and then I'll walk into a dark room. So then if I go take a dark shower, that means my room has to also be dim lit. So I can't really have all my lights on in my room, or it would defeat the purpose of getting a relaxation mode at the beginning. So I definitely want to get back to that. That is a personal goal for me, because I know that as much as I can relax my body and relax my mind, the more productive I am, but also just the happier I am, the more energy that I have. The other thing is, as you know, I have been starting, well, I already started it, but I've been doing breath work. So I really want to continue to create a nighttime routine with my breath work. And I say that because I don't necessarily feel like I need something to help me start my day like some people do, but to help me get into a relaxed mode and a calm mode at night. That is an ongoing challenge for me because my brain is like still going. So ever since I started breathwork, I've told my coach that, and I was telling her that for me, more so, I need a nighttime routine. So she sent me like a 10-minute breathwork, guided breathwork audio that I can do at night right before bed, and I do. And so my other personal goal, so I actually do have two personal goals this month. My other personal goal is continuing that every single night. And if I don't necessarily need it for that night, like I feel like I'm just gonna crash anyways, then cool, I give myself grace. I'm not like super hard on myself about it. Now, the other thing that I focus on going into a new month is auditing last month's finances. So what I like to do is, and if you've ever like followed me on Instagram, you know I talk about this all the time. One of the biggest things that I teach and that I coach on is financial awareness and how you can get to become financially aware. Now, I've only been doing that, coaching it, teaching it to my clients or beauty professionals, wellness professionals. But I'm just going to give you guys a snippet of kind of what that entails. So what I like to do is, for one, I don't use cash for anything because that is very, very hard to track. I have learned that I really need to focus on my habits, and habits are abstract unless you can actually track them. So what I've learned ever since I started tracking my financial habits is I spend a lot of money on food. I rarely go clothes shopping. I rarely spend my money on anything else. It's always going out to eat or it's groceries. So how I knew about that habit that I had is I started backtracking or basically auditing the month before. I would open my bank statements, my bank account on the app, and I would literally just like scroll all the way down until it's the first of that last month. So it's October now. I would open my bank account on the app and I would scroll all the way to September 1st, and then I would scroll up and categorize all of my expenses. And of course, like doing that after a couple of months, I noticed I had some of the same expenses, some of the same spending habits. Like I was able to track that I basically spend $80 on gas every single month and it barely ever changes. I was able to track that. I'm kind of embarrassed, but I definitely spend like $600 to $800 on food. Sometimes it's more than $800 on food. And I was able to kind of give myself a cutoff because I knew that that was kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? That was more than I really needed to spend to be comfortable. So I realized like, okay, like 600 to 700, I can still go out to eat. I can still cook food at my house. I can still buy specific things for my daughter, things like that. Now, $500 a month, that is when I am solely cooking at home and I am like meal planning basically. And if I want to go out to eat, I make sure that there's nothing at home before I go out to eat, unless it's a special occasion like someone's birthday or we're celebrating something, which I often do. But I gave myself a small restriction, not to where life isn't fun anymore, but more so just giving myself some type of cap, because I want to control my money. I don't want my money to control me. So that is one of the things that I did. That is a part of being financially aware in your personal life. And I have a whole like Google sheet that I sell for that in my Business Beyond the Chair workbook. So I make sure that I understand my financial, like what happened last month in my finances. And then I create new financial goals for the new month. So, and I kind of do this for the rest of the year. So on my financial sheet, I already know like this month is when I'm going to start saving for Christmas and my daughter's birthday. Next month is when I'm going to save for my new glasses. And the next month, so I already have basically all my months for the rest of the year pretty planned out financially using the Google sheet that I created for financial awareness. So second thing is I have a new financial focus, basically a goal going into the new month. I give myself certain restrictions, but I still give myself cushion money and wiggle room. And I make sure that I'm saving like what I intend to save. The third thing usually doesn't have to do with me. It's most likely like a goal again for my daughter, or it's a goal like specifically for my business. And this month, I feel like my only goal really is, well, actually two, okay? Because I'm gonna separate my daughter and my business. So for my daughter, I really want us to experience something new this month. And it doesn't matter what it is. The last time we went to like the Stranger Things experience, and that was really, really fun. So I want to experience something new with her this month. That is a goal. Oh, I totally forgot. This month, I'm sitting down with my daughter to go over a few questions. A couple of years ago, my CPA told me that she sits her kids down and she asks them questions like, you know, do you feel like mommy has been supporting you with your feelings, or have I been listening to you, blah, blah. So it's like a series of questions. So I'm going to sit down with my daughter this month and ask her those questions and like leave the floor open for anything that she wants to share. That's also another goal. The other thing for my business is I have specific tactics or I don't know, analytics, if you want to call it, that I want to hit in order to make my financial goal. So I have personal, you know, financial focuses, but in terms of my business, I have financial goals that I'm trying to hit in order to, you know, make what I want to make. So for me, walking into October, I want to sell 11 workbooks. I want to have at least 4 spot treatment calls booked. And so far, I already had 2 people book it. So I feel like should I up that goal because it's already October 4th? I don't know, we'll see. But that's really it. And I'm like, I can just coast after that. Now in November, I'm probably going to rev my goal up a little bit more financially because that's like when all the sales and stuff happen. So I'll most likely have a different financial goal in November. But this month, it is a little bit more geared towards steady promotion. Not like launch mode, like going heavy. And it is more about my personal life and going back into my, you know, calmer state instead of like very like to-do list driven. So those are my goals moving forward. And just so you know, like what kind of framework I have for this, I kind of journal a little bit, but I more so just make notes in my phone, or I use Milanote. So on Milanote, it's similar to like Notion. A lot of people use Notion. I love Milanote instead though, just like how it looks visually. But on Milanote, every month I actually have like a goal, and I have to actually write this down in order for it to come into fruition, even if I don't look at the goal. So what's crazy is last month I had 5 goals and I established those goals on September 5th. I did not look at this goals list until I think 2 days ago, and I hit every single goal. So it's really something about like having the intention, writing the goal down, saying it out loud, and then just working towards it in a steady manner, very organically. Like for me, of course, last month I was like, the book was just killing me. So that wasn't as organic. But in terms of what I was putting in the book was, because I know what I'm talking about. So it really is just, again, having the goal, being intentional about it, writing it down, saying it out loud, and putting the work in. And if you are someone who has to actually start looking at your goals often, like you got to look at your goals every single week, definitely do that. That's something I do with like my financial goals. I like to track and stay on top of them every single week so that I know for sure I'm on track. So I know that in order to get 11 workbooks sold, I need to sell 2 to 3 a week. So that's basically how I track it. So if you are someone and you are like kind of struggling with creating goals and you're struggling with, sticking to your goals or being productive, I will say that every month at least try to create 3 goals, and one of those being something very personal to your self-care, one of those being financially. Even if it's not a financial goal, like a target you're trying to hit, it can actually be like a financial habit that you're trying to obtain. And then always have like another goal that doesn't really pertain to money, and it doesn't really pertain to like self-care. It can pertain to something else that does actually affect your quality of life. So for me, my business does, and my daughter being happy does. So I have to make sure that I incorporate all of those within my monthly goals. So I truly, truly hope this helps. As of right now, I don't really have a way that I sell my financial sheet other than my Business Beyond the Chair workbook that is sold. But if you are someone who is really looking for something like that, I will find a way to just make the financial sheet available only. And just hit me up, leave a comment, and we'll figure out how we're going to do that. Besides that, I truly, truly hope that you make every single month not necessarily productive, because sometimes I feel like you don't need to be productive. Sometimes you really just need to be, and you really need to just be still sometimes, to be very honest with you. I think that's the thing. But I do hope though that whatever season that you're in, you have some type of plan for it, or you have clarity around it. And that you make it everything that you want it to be. If you take anything away from this, please comment below, and please like and subscribe. Bye.